Ladies and gentlemen, we might be here today, kicking things off after the snowy weekend. Happy Money Monday, and we are ready to rock and roll. Good morning to absolutely everybody. StockTwits Nation, I'm feeling excited about today. I know you guys are as well, because again, right here, right now, we are about to kick off a brand new week. Yes, traders, I have been absolutely on fire. Don't look at me, don't touch me, don't talk to me. We are coming up to nearly $15,000 in trading profits. $15,000. Every single trade has been live. Every single P&L has been shown. Every single thing I've done has been on stream. And today I'm excited to be over on StockTwits, to be able to have you guys join me here, to be able to make sure we make some money today. But we got to do it right. And how do we do it right? Well, we got to go through everything. We break it on down with preparation. We go in with confidence. We figure out an entry, a reversal, an area that we can jump in with the odds in our favor. That's what it's all about here today. And I'm ready to rock and roll. It is going to be a fun day. It is going to be a big week. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys smash that thumbs on up right here and right now. Get ourselves prepared. This morning I woke up on my $4,000 Tempur-Pedic mattress, rolled right out, and I said, man, it's time to work. I love Monday mornings. Monday mornings where that alarm clock goes on off, most people, again, dread it. They say, man, I don't want to do that commute. Man, I don't want to go see my employees. Man, I don't want to be working underneath a boss. Whatever it may be, guys, as a stock trader, you jump out of bed excited. You jump out of a bed motivated. You jump out of a bed saying, yes, I cannot wait. The weekend is over. So now let's talk about what we have right here and right now. Let's talk about this day. Let's talk about absolutely everything we need so that we can come out on top. So we do have BATL right now, and we have BNAI. These are two stocks right now that are stealing the entire hype. BATL is up 337%, and we do have BNAI right here up 254%. These are two stocks that I want to start with that every single trader should be aware of. Number one, what is going on with BATL? Well, for a stock to spike 333%, there usually has to be some sort of reason. You guys can see right here, BATL is the number one top gainer of the day, and there is a reason. The reason was actually on Friday, though. So if you guys take a look, BATL, this was a top gainer. News came out in Friday in after hours, where it says there is an operational update. So this operational update that came on out started talking about some key highlights. Termination of gas trading agreement, entry into trading agreement of publicly traded large midstream companies. We have right here BATL talking about oil. We have BATL right here in that whole entire, what's the hot field lately? Well, the hot field has been earth metals, earth minerals. If that is going to be gold, if that is going to be silver, if that is going to be uranium, and now again, going over with oil and this and that. You know, we are seeing a lot of kind of like resources from Earth kind of lead towards these biggest spikes, biggest rips, and biggest runs. So BATL did not have a press release this morning. If you're looking for a press release this morning, I do not believe there is one from BATL. But we did have news on Friday afternoon, which is carrying over to this morning because obviously the stock market's closed over the weekend, and now traders are moving on up. Now traders are saying to themselves, hey, you know what? This definitely has opportunity. So BATL right here has gone from $1 and has spiked all the way up to $6. Now, I always like to play the what if game. What if you had an account this morning with $1,500? With $1,500, you could have been able to make around what? Around $4,500 today. That's what's so crazy about the stock market. With as little as $1,500, you could have made a profit of $4,500 today if you nailed it perfectly. Now, obviously, if you nail it perfectly, that's not really, again, realistic. But what if you just got a little bit meat of the move? Could you have made $1,000 today? Absolutely. Could you make $2,000 today? Absolutely. This is what is so attractive about stock trading, that you could be able to make a whole bunch of money from a little bit of money. And that's what I love, again, these smaller cap plays. Remember, traders, I love blue chips as well. The S&P 500, Microsoft, Google, NVIDIA, Amazon. That's what my retirement is. I put that money in and I hold it on the long side. These smaller plays, though, these are where you're going to have 300% returns on a day. I'm not saying you have to nail a 300% return. But what I will say is if you can nail an 80% return out of 300, you're going to make a lot of money. Remember, traders, that the Wall Street, hedge funds, these guys, They try to make a 10 to 20% return every single year throughout 365 days. You could be making, again, 100, 200, 300% return in the matter of one morning if you, again, nail a trade the right way. So again, that's what's so incredible. That's what's so great. These fast-paced, low-float, heavy press release movers, this is where we are going to make the most amount of money. So again, BATL, it does have credibility. What's the top gainer? We definitely want to be able to watch that stock at this moment. Now, a little heads on up. I see GXAI also trying to get a little bit of a spike. Did GXAI come out with any sort of news? GXAI is starting to squeeze right now at this moment. Stock is getting pretty hot. Stock is starting to move. GAXI, this is another play that just seems like it's starting to squeeze. I don't believe there is any sort of news at this moment over on GXAI. So GXAI, I don't think there's any sort of news. If there is, please post it, but I do not see anything whatsoever. What would be the target? Target's going to be up towards around that 235-ish mark. Yes, there is some resistance right here, right around 220. I think I would rather go a little higher. Upper shadow 230, upper shadow 230, upper shadow 240, upper shadow all the way up to 250. Let's just see how much are shares available to short. So I'm going to bring over my short locate box. I'm going to pop this on out. I'm going to bring this on over, type out GXAI. GXAI, type in about 5,000 shares, inquire 5,000 shares. GXAI, how many shares do I want? I want 5,000, and let's see how expensive this would be. This would be a total of $12. So again, total cost $12. I'll accept that. So let's see if I can get them. It's pending at this moment, and now I'm accepted. I paid a $12 fee. $12 fee, 5,000 shares, ready to rock and roll and ready to get after this. So I will say, if GXAI continues on with this kind of no news type of spike, we definitely want to be ready to rock and roll. If this stock again starts breaking on out, if this stock is getting some hype and momentum and starting to go crazy, you know, I want to be ready to rock and roll here. So where would I look for a short over on this play? I would say, again, up towards around 235 or higher. I'm going to be looking for shorts over on the stock to see if GXAI is going to start, you know, getting the majority of the hype here. So what I'm going to do is just type in 500 shares. I'm going to go limit order, 500 shares, limit order, and start doing my entries. 233, right? There's a limit order. 237, limit order. 235, limit order. 239, limit order. Right? So I'm just spreading this on out. Now, the thing is, traders, I might not even get filled. There's a chance that I do not get filled at all at this like 240 area. But the thing is, it's okay because I don't lose any money. The way that I like to trade is I always like to nail the extremes, the extreme high and the extreme bottom. I do not try to get in at just, you know, where we're at right now. The way that I like to trade is I like to say, hey, I want to short this play. Well, let me short it up here. If GXAI does work itself all the way up here, I am getting involved in this play after a 100% move. I am getting involved on this play at a high of the day, and there's a good chance that the stock is going to turn and fade, as the stock also does have some past chart history in the past that's most likely going to be holding up as resistance as well. So I'm getting in at 100% plus move after past chart history pattern at the high of the day. The odds are that this stock will have some sort of red candle near my entry. And that's where I could be able to profit. Just like if this stock right here started fading and falling and dropping. You know what? I could definitely look for a dip buy opportunity. But I'm not going to look for a dip buy opportunity right here at $2. I'll look for a dip buy opportunity back again near some strong support. Way back down towards this area where I would say, hey, if the stock again does go all the way from the price of 217 and starts falling on down towards whatever area this is, back on down towards 170, well, guess what? That's a good dip buy opportunity. That's, again, getting the extreme bottom. If you do come all the way back down to that area, there's a great chance that the stock could be able to move itself back on up or be able to get some sort of green candle. So remember, whenever you're trading stocks, always look for the extremes on both ends. If the stock spiked up this high, would it be a good entry? Do I have the odds in my favor to be successful? And if the stock dumps down this low, do I have the odds in my favor to see a dip buy, to see a bounce play, to be able to see it move back on up? The worst thing we can do is just buy, let's say, whenever we want, like somewhere in the middle. We just buy at 195. On 195, guys, that's the worst area we could possibly do. Because, again, when I take a look over on GXAI right here, again, maybe it's going to go up, maybe it's going to go down. If you want to, again, get involved, the best thing to do right here at this moment is say, all right, hey, let me go ahead and at least play these. Let me play the current high of 220. Let me go ahead and play the current low of 170, right? At least you could be able to have opportunities for dip buys and bounce plays. The worst thing you can do is do the opposite. Hey, let me buy at highs, let me short at lows. That's, again, something I try to get you guys to break out of all the time. I want you guys to stop getting FOMO as a stock moves on up, and then you buy here and you lose, and you buy here and you lose, and you buy here and you lose. And again, you try to short it down here, expecting it to go on down, and it bounces back on up. Remember, near support, entry on the long side. Near resistance, short entry. I always like to look for quick breakouts for new, again, short entries at very tops. But let's also think about this, guys. GXAI doesn't have any sort of news, right? GXAI doesn't have any sort of news right here. So if it doesn't have any sort of news, it's not worth it. Like, we don't need this play for us in any sort of way. So let's make sure we're being smart at this time. Dek, you look a little skinny here today. I know. Again, whatever. It's something's happened with the OBS where I look a little thinner than usual. My head today is a little bit more angular. I kind of look like a big piece of celery. So a little bit more like that. Let's try this. How about, okay, that did not work. Let me go back here, guys. Hold on. You know what? That's how it's going to be today. That's how it's going to be. I'll take it. It's all right. Hey, let's see what else we have coming on up here, traders. I want to get my first trade of this week. I know you guys do as well. BNAI. We'll see if that one's going to start getting a little bit of action. GXAI, no. And ARAI. ARAI also just came out with news. Stock just came out with news. $3 up towards around 360. Says Dan O'Toole execute arrived AI play. So ARAI also trying to get a little bit of hype. Trying to see if that one's going to move. GXAI, I'll leave my short orders in there, guys. Again, GXAI definitely has potential to go ahead and squeeze its way on up. But let's also think about this. Do you guys want to buy GXAI? And if you're saying to me, yes, I want to buy GXAI, let me ask you why. And you might say, well, it was up and now here comes a good dip buy opportunity. And I am not opposed if anyone is wanting to get an entry right around that 170 mark. If you just got a little dip buy right around that 170 mark that I talked about, that's great. But please keep one thing in the back of your mind. Why is GXAI spiking in the first place? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. There's no news. There's no credibility. There's no real reason. It's very difficult for me to ever jump into a stock that's spiking up 80% and there's no credibility behind it whatsoever. There is a chance that GXAI just flushes all the way back on down and you can't be shocked. You can't sit here and say, why is it I always lose on every single stock trade I take? Every single stock trade I take, I lose. Well, why did you buy GXAI? Well, I thought it was going to go higher. There's no credibility. There's no news. It's just a random low float pump this morning. So please, if you want to be able to make money on, again, a random stock that has no credibility behind it, I would much rather look for shorts. But if you are looking for a small dip buy right around 170, 172, and you're hoping it gets back up to 190, I'm okay with it. I understand it. As long as you place a stop loss right underneath that area. Hey, get a dip buy off 170, spiked on up towards 218. Get a dip buy off 170, spiked back on up towards around 190. Right? You can go ahead and look for those little small areas as long as you have a stop loss right around that like 167 mark, 166. So you're risking 4 cents to be able to make about 20 cents. That's a great risk reward. Risk 4 cents or 20 cents. That's a 5-to-1 risk reward right there. That's pretty awesome, right? So let's kind of get back on track here, traders. Number one, we do know BATL did have news that came on out, right? BATL did come on news that came on out on Friday. News on Friday after hours. Awesome. BATL does have credibility. If you want to trade BATL at this moment, this is how I would do it. Everyone switch over to a 2-minute time frame. Get the most detail we possibly can. 1-minute time frame is a little too close. I like to be able to see, again, the entirety of today into the current moment. Now, if I take a look over on BATL, I am seeing overall a very nice uptrend. You take a look over on BATL, we do have a very nice overall uptrend right here. You guys can see bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play. BATL, very nice uptrend. You can also see that BATL also does have some top resistance on its uptrend though as well. So again, follow the channel. This is how I see BATL. Everyone, take a look. If you want to play the #1 top gainer in the stock market right now, I will make your life extremely easy. All you have to do at this moment is place these two lines. You have the purple line holding as bottom support. You have the red line holding up as top resistance. And now follow the game plan. The follow of the game plan is, hey, if you come up to the red line, you are going to have shorting opportunities. Short at the red, short at the red, short at the red, short near the red. Here's a little bit above the red. Here's a little bit above the red. Every time you have hit that red line, you have moved in the opposite direction. Now, same exact thing if you come on down towards the blue line. Blue line, you again have your first initial bouncing here. First initial bounce, then another bounce, then another bounce, and most likely another bounce would happen somewhere around here where again the stock is going to look to be able to bounce back on up. So this is how you can now always trade with good entries. Now, obviously here, team, there are things that you want to do. If you're looking for a dip buy and bounce play, I definitely understand it. But also say to yourself, you know what? If it does fall underneath this area, let me again make sure I have a stop loss. Like if you are looking for an entry at that purple line, have an entry, but also have a stop loss in case it goes underneath that area because you don't want it to sell on off. But this is how we can stay consistent, and this is how we can be able to have good risk and reward. The worst thing you can do is what? The worst thing you guys can do right now is randomly say, hey, I'm buying right now. Why are we buying right now in the middle? There's a chance it goes back up. There's a chance it goes on down. There's a chance it consolidates. There's a chance it bounces. That I don't know what it's going to do. But remember, at the extremes is where you guys can be able to make money. I gave you guys a little bit of an analogy the other week saying if you guys ever go to a grocery store, and this is like the plan of the grocery store, all the healthy food, some of you guys know this, but all the healthy food is always on the outside. When you walk into a grocery store, you walk on over to the right, here's the fruits, here's the vegetables, here's everything. And then on the very back, you guys have again like fish, and you guys are going to have meat, and you're going to have chicken, and you're going to have different beef, and you're going to have eggs. And then over here, you guys are going to have Greek yogurts, and you're guys going to have that organic aisle, right? All the healthy stuff is always on the outside of a supermarket. What's on the middle? Well, let's get our chips. Let's get our, Sour Patch Kids. Let's get our sugary cereal. Let's go ahead and buy all these fat condiments. All the bad stuff is always in the middle. So again, this is kind of the same exact way with stock trading. Stock trading, guys, always avoid the bad stuff. The bad stuff is in the middle. This is where there's no predictability. There's no predictability in here. Where is there predictability? When you come up to the top and you know the stock's going to fall, and you know it's going to fall, and you know it's going to fall, and you come to the bottom and you know it's going to bounce, you know it's going to bounce, you know it's going to bounce. You come up to the top again, yes, that's where it's going to fall. So you have predictability on the outsides, not in the middle. You're going to be healthy on the outsides, not in the middle. BATL right here. You guys take a look, next dip buy somewhere right around $5. Now, please understand, guys, yes, at some point, the trend will break. At some point, the trend will crack, or at some point, we will get a squeeze and breakout. That will happen. But what you can always at least start with is having guidelines and be able to understand where's support, where's resistance, where's the reversal going to happen, so where can I go ahead and make some more money? So BATL, not a bad play in any sort of way. Now, let's go over to the next one, BNAI. Ladies and gentlemen, BNAI, this was a little bit of a crazy move because this started spiking like crazy in Friday after hours. Very similar to BNAI, or BATL, we did have BNAI spikes 334% in after hours on Friday. So it says brand engagement at BNAI, stock explodes on $2 million technology deal. So there was a deal on Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon, Friday after hours, Friday after the stock market closed, BNAI came out with a deal for $2 million. And guess what happened? BNAI started squeezing and spiking. Went from 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60. And now BNAI was a stock that only last week was at the price around $4, and now it's at $62. Let's be inspired. Let's play the what if game. What if you had a $4,000 account and you invested in BNAI last week? Well, guys, you could be able to have $58,000 in your account today. That's, again, it's just like so wild that that's what the stock market can do. That's how people can be able to afford these nice cars and afford these mega mansions and be able to travel the world and be able to have financial freedom. It's not by working a 9 to 5 and saying, ooh, thank you for $80 today. It's, hey, let me invest $10,000 in BNAI, and all of a sudden BNAI produces them $60,000 in a week. Hey, let's go to Bora Bora for the next 3 months now. Right? So that's how, again, things happen. So BNAI right here, this stock absolutely exploded. It did come out with a press release on Friday. The stock started going on this very nice move. Now, the big question is, what is BNAI going to do next? What is BNAI going to do on the next possible play? Well, what I would do right here is, let me just see. Can we do a 2-minute time frame? That's fine. So BNAI, the way that I'm looking at this play is let's play a very simple channel at this moment. Number one, establish what's bottom support. Bottom support right here is going to be right around 50 bucks. 50 bucks is a nice natural support line. It's a nice natural whole number. $50 would be a very strong psychological area to be able to hold. We also do have a lot of strong resistance up near, it seems like around $67, give or take. So just by looking at this, right, you can be able to say to yourself, all right, hey, at least I can get a little bit of a starting game plan, right? Just like as we did before. You guys take a look over on BNAI. What do you guys notice? BNAI, there is going to be resistance at the price around $67. Resistance right around 67. Resistance 67. Yes, we did get a breakout, but you could see it reestablish 67. You guys can see we do have very nice support right around 50. Support 50, support 50, support 50. When you come on down to somewhere in this region, let's just say 52 to 49, that's a good dip buy area. When you guys say, okay, what about this region? When you guys get somewhere towards around the price of 66 to 68, that's a good short area. Everywhere else in the middle, avoid. Avoid everywhere right here. There's no point of that. Now, also, a little side note, I do see GXAI starting to squeeze its way on up a little bit, guys. GXAI, did I just get filled on any shorts? Remember, I placed my short orders way before. GXAI actually got filled, again, 2,000 shares on my shorts. So GXAI, guys, just a little heads on up. Remember, I placed short orders once GXAI started off right here. I got filled at 236 at GXAI. Let's see if this play is going to keep on spiking. So GXAI, why am I getting filled right here, traders? Just a little heads on up. We saw this news come on out. GXAI, I said, I don't know if I'm going to get filled or not, but if I do get filled, I'm getting filled at an area that is at a new high after a 100% move. And look what we have right here. We have upper shadow at the price of 235, 236. Upper shadow at the price of 235, 236. Here's upper shadow at around the price of 243. So you can see upper shadow, upper shadow, upper shadow. And right now, I do have entries asking myself, okay, is this going to be where red resistance line is going to happen? Are we going to be able to see a red candle, maybe back down towards around 210, 212? So what I did at this time here, traders, that I had 5,000 shares total. I placed entries from, again, 230 to 232 to 235 to again, 240. And I just want to see if we're going to get a nice reversal area, make a quick little $200 and kick off our day on the right way. So what am I doing with my trades? With my trades, a lot of times what I'm looking for is I'm asking myself, where are reversals going to happen? Where is a stock going to turn? And I look at past chart history pattern and I try to get stocks at the very tippity top. So I'm asking myself right now, GXAI, where is a reversal going to happen? Well, I think a reversal is going to happen maybe at some old spiking highs, either 235, 235, 235, or an old spiking, or we could see it a little bit higher, maybe up towards around 245, 250. So that's kind of what I'm surrounding at this moment. I'm surrounding, again, looking for these tops at around these 245s, 250s. And then if we get one nice red candle, maybe back down towards around 215, 210, I can make, again, $200 plus. Right now, we're up 120 with 2,000 shares. If we can make a quick $200, guys, let's go ahead and take that profit. Guys, also a little side note, 8 a.m. press release, though, starts on up in about 1 minute. So the 8 a.m. press release does start on up in about 1 minute. That could be a time that either GXAI is going to get more attention or less attention if something steals the show. So again, GXAI, little heads on up here, guys. We definitely want to be watching this. At the same time, I do want to bring up the new scanner so that we are all set, ready to go. Let me put, again, Fox Runner in place there in case we do start seeing any sort of big breakouts on any other plays. But I do want you guys, of course, to be able to see my live P&L right here. If this thing can drop on down to like 219, 218, make a quick, guys, we might be able to just make a quick $200, take our gains. So let's see, we got a little reversal here. Guys, we're up 200 bucks, 220. We almost had a quick little opportunity there. Guys, let's see. Guys, I'm going to get filled a little bit more. Guys, got filled a little bit more here as we just popped on up. Got filled a little bit more at 246. Let's see if I can be able to make a dollar out of this. I don't mind holding this for a little bit because I like my entries. I like how, again, we're staying underneath 250. As long as we, again, continue to kind of stay right around this 230, 240 mark, we should be able to turn and fall eventually back on down to 220s. But a reminder, I am getting filled with, again, upper shadow, upper shadow, upper shadow at 250. Guys, we're up $340. Let's take our gains. Guys, I just locked in 190 bucks. All right, just locked in 190 bucks right there, traders. Not a difficult trade. Just made $190 off of understanding past chart history pattern. So remember, all I did here was, hey, GXI, I don't know if I'm going to get filled. If I do get filled, I'm getting filled at a top. If I do get filled, I'm getting filled after the stock spikes up over 100%. If I do get filled, I'm getting filled at old upper shadows. That's what I'm looking for. And now again, GXAI is starting to reverse and starting to drop back on down. If I held a little bit longer, I probably could have made about $400, $500, but I'll take a $200 profit. Nothing wrong with that in any sort of way. Guys, any sort of big news right here. Let's again refocus. Let's look for the next possible trade. USAQ, nothing there. Private placement, ASTI, sometimes those spike. That one's dumping. Let's see what else we have here. LBRX, this play right here, not too much just yet. Do you guys see anything at 8 o'clock just yet? I want to make sure we're not missing anything. We got BATL. BATL, you got a possible dip buy coming up towards around $5 shortly. You might get a quick little lower shadow towards around $5. Get ready for that dip. BNAI is slowly coming on up towards around 66, 67. Remember, that's another possible shorting area. GXAI, good job if you guys are shorting that play. Again, we had the great entry out around the top. I am out of that play. I don't have any current orders at this moment. I don't think there's anything at 8 o'clock just yet. I don't think there's anything just yet at 8 o'clock. GXAI, though, I am expecting that one to still get some weakness back on down to $2. Again, first trade of the week. Take $200, lock it in, and let's see if that thing can fade and fall. But remember, I want to do everything live with you. I want to explain absolutely everything. I want to make you the best trader ever. I don't want to, and I never will, jump on the live stream and say, hey guys, I made again $14,000 off stream where I didn't show you guys. And it's like, okay, well, what's the point of you? Like, why are you here? Well, I want to teach you how I made $14,000. Wouldn't it be more beneficial if you showed us how to be able to make $14,000? It'd be like going to a basketball camp and someone just being like, I'm a great shooter. Okay, can you shoot a little bit? I'm not going to shoot at all, but I will, again, tell you the right technique to shoot. It's like, that's not what I want to learn from. I don't want to learn from, again, a guy who doesn't do it. I want to learn from a guy who, again, is showing me live on why he's such a great shooter, right? So right here, team, I want to be able to always trade live in front of you. Right now, again, I don't have any other orders. I locked in my $190 profit. And again, we're sitting back at this time. Now, as again, GXAI tries to squeeze up higher, let's kind of go back in the tank a little bit. Number one, why is GXAI spiking? There is no news right now. So we don't have any news. Right now, we have GXAI, which is in its $6 million in float stock, currently the number 4 top gainer in the stock market without any credibility. Okay, this is interesting. Because once this credibility shifts, once again, we start seeing some dropping and fading, we could easily fall. Guys, BNAI does have credibility from Friday. This one had that like $40 spike. BNAI is about to hit some strong resistance around $67. BATL, remember, this one is getting ready for that possible dip buy right along $5. So if you guys are interested, you guys are going to be looking for that dip buy right around $5. BNAI, if you guys are interested, you guys are going to be looking for shorts up near around $67, $68. And if you guys are interested, GXAI, what's the next target? Next target I see over on GXAI is, first off, we do have 255 going to be strong resistance. But then, traders, we got room to run up to 277, and we have room to run up towards around 297. We basically have, again, our next two targets. 280 right around here, and then we have all the way up towards around 290. So if this stock does keep on spiking, here's again where we closed at on the big spiking day back on August 21st, and here's where the high was at back at 299 back on August 21st. So GXAI still hot, still a play that you guys can focus on, still a play you guys can make good money on. But yes, still no big PR out of today. When I say PR, I'm talking about press release out of today. BNAI had the press release Friday, did have a $2 million technology agreement. BATL did have a press release over on Friday. Friday was the stock again. This came on out. Stock started going on a nice breakout. GXAI does not have any credibility behind it. So it's always great, even if you're saying to yourself, oh, I didn't make any money yet today, or, ooh, I didn't trade just yet today. You know why the number 1, number 2, and number 3 top gainer is up. So you can even see it over here. Our best spiker today with news is ARAI, right? We have it. This is, over on Fox Runner, it tells you what's all the best news today. Well, all the best news today, guys, 18% gain, 9%, 6%, 5%. There's not really anything big right here. There's nothing amazing right now at this moment. What's more amazing is we're actually seeing all stocks, BATL, BNAI, GXAI, and we realize now BATL had news on a Friday. BNAI had news on Friday. GXAI, this has no news whatsoever. So at least we can go into this day feeling more confident, but I would love to be able to see a hot press release come out at 8:30. I would love to see a hot press release come on out and we get a nice big spike and rip and run and we start getting some bigger breakouts here. So GXAI, what's the next entry that I would look for? To be frank with you, I would probably just put up entries up high. somewhere up towards around 280, up towards $3. So I'm going to fill the shares here. 500 shares, limit order. 500 shares, limit order, put it up high. 290, boom. 297, boom. 284, boom. I just spread it out, guys. 285, boom. 299, boom. I'll even do a little bit. 301, boom. Traders, I do not know if we are going to get up towards $3, but I do know if we do get up to $3, that's a new extreme. That's an old spiking high. That's the stock going to be up nearly around 145%. GXAI would have a great chance of falling rather than spiking up even higher. I'm placing the odds in my favor. That's what I want you guys to understand here. And now also something that you guys probably notice is when I trade, I am again always putting multiple entries. It's very difficult to see a stock moving itself on up and you say, hey, the perfect short is going to be right here. Or maybe the stock again is moving itself on up, comes back on down, and you say, hey, the perfect dip buy is going to be right here. That's very difficult to do. So what I do is I find the overall area. I say to myself, you know what? I think the best overall area is going to be somewhere right around $3. It's going to be somewhere right around $3. So let me actually do this instead. Let me go ahead and put some entries at around 288, 290, $3, 310, whatever. So now I have a better overall, I have a better chance of getting filled and having a better cost basis. So if the stock does spike on up and maybe hits again 285 and falls, at least I got something fills. Maybe again, the stock does spike on up. Stock spikes its way back on up. We again see this one hit 290, 292. Then it falls. At least I got something. So, that's, what I always do. Same exact thing if I'm taking a look over on, let's go with, this little box right here. Hey, we're getting ready for a dip buy. I think the best dip buy is going to be right at 180. Okay, you think the best dip buy is going to be at 180? That's great. But you know what? Let's go ahead and put a dip buy maybe at the price of 190, maybe 185, maybe 178, 175, because no one knows exactly where the best dip buy is going to be. So again, maybe it goes up high, maybe it goes a little bit lower, maybe it fills you all. And then on top of that, guess what? Stop loss right above that. Stop loss right underneath that. Do you guys realize what you have now? You are going to be able to get the overall best entry, best overall cost basis. And if it does break out, you are only going to lose the minimum because you have a stop right here. That's how I trade. If the stock does come on down and you're looking for a dip buy, you are going to be able to get the best overall cost basis, get the best entries. And if it does keep on falling, you have a stop right here. So essentially, if the stock does fall, you are going to lose, let's say, hypothetically, $400. If the stock again does bounce, hypothetically, you are going to win $1,000. If the stock again does fall right here, does again fall and drop, you are going to win $1,000. If the stock again does keep moving on up, you are only losing from here to here, you're only losing $300. So you are always putting yourself in a position where you are going to have more reward than risk. The areas that you do not do that is where you randomly chase. Let's say GXAI is starting to spike on up and you say, I'm going to buy right here. That's where you're buying at the top, where you have all this room to fall and you don't have much room to run. And you say, the stock is falling. I'm going to short it right here. And now the stock has a better chance of dip buying and bouncing, and you only have a little room to profit. How many people here feel like when they trade, they only win the minimum and they always lose the maximum? Hey, when I trade, I always lose the most I possibly can. But when I win so small. I win $20 and I lose $400. Hey, I just won $80. I lose $1,000. It's most likely you're doing the opposite thing. You're buying at the top. You're shorting at the bottom. You're not shorting at the top and buying at the bottom. So that's, again, where you have to change things on up. Do you guys like my impression of, again, traders who don't know what they're doing? That's basically how it's feeling. But we got ourselves a big morning here. Obviously, already starting off in the green. Yeah. So far in 2026, we are sitting with right around like $12,500 on the month, or on 2026. So yeah, on the month. So we're doing pretty well so far. Trying to do as much as we possibly can to keep this going. right? We've had one red day so far in 2026. And I really, again, contribute the only one red day to the fact that we are putting ourselves in the best overall risk reward. We are putting ourselves in the best overall trades. We are putting ourselves in the best overall plays here, trying to do everything right for us to have success in the market. All right. Traders, we have right now about 20 minutes until the next hot press release. GXAI, I have orders up high. BNAI, I don't have any orders on this one. This one still could possibly squeeze and go crazy. I'm a little scared of BNAI, to be honest. Let's go over everything else on this day. What's my favorite way to get prepared? Ladies and gentlemen, come on over to Fox Hunter, click the Analyst Alerts page. Once you click the Analyst Alerts page, scroll on down to the very bottom. Go to the bottom, work your way on up. Let's go over it all. You guys ready for it? So let's see what we have here. We do have top critical metals to watch, stocks to buy. So ladies and gentlemen, for anyone who does not know, for anyone who's been living underneath a rock over the last, again, 2 weeks or so, and again, the rock, I was going to say it's kind of a pun to, again, the critical metals of Earth. But what we have right here is that this has been the hottest trend so far in 2026. And I'll show you guys an image in a second. But I will tell you right now, the hottest investment trend of 2026 so far has been rare earth metals, rare earth minerals, rare earth items, whatever you guys want to call it. These have been spiking the best. So why? Because obviously every single trader realizes Trump really wants Greenland. Why does Trump want Greenland? Because Trump, again, realizes that Greenland is one of the most unexplored countries that have rare earth metals, such as uranium and such as copper. Well, again, Trump also announced at the World Forum last week that the United States is heavily going to get into nuclear. Well, what's in nuclear? Uranium, Greenland. Now, again, any hard metal is going to be going on very nice spikes, rips, and runs. Like copper. Here's a whole bunch of copper stocks. Graphite. Here's again graphite. Here's again calcium. Here's rare earth. Here's cobalt. Here's vanadium. Here's tungsten. So you guys can see critical minerals take stage at Trump 2.0 era. These are all plays that are super hot. You can also see here are the best stocks so far that have been doing well. So you guys have a list right here from rare earth stocks. Here's again different companies as well that does mining for these rare earth minerals. But we can actually scroll on up here. Let me scroll on up for a second. And what I want to show you is this right here. It says hot themes of 2026. So this is a really cool image, guys. Take a look at this. These are all the themes, all the investment trends of 2026 so far. Rare earths, that's up the biggest. Out of all the stocks within rare earth, they're up collectively 39%. Drones, like ONDS, right? We know, again, a lot of people love that company. You guys see overall, they're up 25%. Nuclear, 22%. Batteries, 15%. Commodities, 15%. Crypto, 12%. Biotech, 10%. Autonomous vehicles, up 10%. So you guys could see right here, this is like a list right here. This is a really cool image because it is showing what are the hottest themes ranked by all of these stocks within these themes. Overall, which ones are doing the best? Rare earth metals is the best at this moment with a 39.9% return. Drones is again number 2 with 25.36%. And nuclear is number 3 with 22.71%. And it's kind of funny that like rare earth and nuclear kind of go together. Uranium and nuclear are going to go together. So that's kind of like, you know, the egg and ham right here to just go ahead back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. These are the best at this moment. And you might say, oh, I love drones. Oh, I love batteries. Or, oh, I love this. I love that. Right now, again, rare earths is still number 1. Okay. So again, you guys can look through this and see all the hot themes at this moment and which ones have the best returns at this moment. So let's scroll back on down here at this time, guys, getting ourselves fully aware. So those are the hot metals to watch. Now this week, overall, guys, is going to be crazy. This week is going to be a big week. Now, why is that? Because we have earnings. Now, earnings, the hot ones, are going to kick off on Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday, traders, we do have Microsoft. We do have Meta. We do have Tesla. Thursday, we do have Apple. We do have Visa. Right? So these are going to be big. These are things that you guys want to be watching. SanDisk, let me see here. SNDK. Yeah, SanDisk, the number 1 top gainer, the number 1 top gainer of 2025 and the number 1 top gainer so far of 2026. That also has its earnings on Thursday. So again, Wednesday, we have Microsoft, we have Tesla, we have Meta, right? Thursday, we have SNDK, we have Apple, we have Visa. Very big week of earnings coming on up. You guys have, and again, this entire list right here over on Fox Runner so that you guys are all set, ready to go. Okay? Now, not only do we have earnings, but we do have, again, an economic data this week. Tuesday, right? We do have consumer confidence. Wednesday, Fed interest rates. Ladies and gentlemen, we should be cutting rates. Everyone go over to Google, type in CMEG Fed Watch Tool. So if you guys go to the Watch Tool probability, you guys can actually go ahead and check this on out right here. The next FOMC meeting is in 2 days. And if you guys scroll on down, it takes a second to load on up. But once it's loaded on up, it's going to say probably 98%, 97.2% chance that we are going to be cutting rates. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what happens when we cut rates? When we cut rates, what do we see? We see, again, the markets usually rise. We have cheaper money. What do you mean by cheaper money? When you cut rates, you can take out an auto loan and not have to pay as much back in interest. When you have cheaper rates, you could take out a home mortgage and not pay as much back every single month in its interest. When you have cheaper rates, you could spend more money on credit cards and not have, again, as many penalties with their interest. So the lower the interest rates, the better. The lower the interest rates, the better. And that's what, again, people want to see. Just like in 2021, we cut interest rates to nearly zero. We gave everyone $5,000. We said, everyone, go stimulate the economy. Go, 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 go. And we gave everyone money. We, again, stimulated the economy. The economy was, again, rock hard. Everyone was going flying straight on up. It was nuts. And now, again, we're slowly kind of getting back to that, where, again, we don't have super high inflation at 9.1% like we had in June of 2022. Now, again, it's 97.2% chance that we're going to be cutting more interest rates over on Wednesday. So that's really big. Then again, Thursday, we do have some earnings reports that, of course, we want to be waiting and watching. So make sure that we are all set, ready to go on that. That is going to be very big. That's going to be very important. All right, awesome. Now, also, a little heads on up for everyone who uses Fox Runner. I know the majority of you guys use Fox Runner now, but if you guys haven't yet, make sure, again, they sent out a small update last week. You guys probably have done it. You guys can also update it over on the homepage, but all the congressional trading right now is live and up to date. So just a little heads on up at this moment. When this is getting it, you guys can see all the new orders, January 19th, January 2026, January 20th, January 13th, January 11th. These are all, again, current congressional trades that people are focused on at this time. Now, what's the best thing that I like to do? All right. I don't care that much about some of these smaller ones. A lot of times I like to always, number one, I like to see what Nancy Pelosi buys. Nancy Pelosi has not bought anything so far in 2026. Okay. She has not gotten herself involved in anything in 2026. But what I do want you guys to do is what I would say is let's see who's buying. First off, let's just filter this out. Let's wait till it loads on up here for a second. Let's filter this out on only transactions that are buying. Okay, let's do that first. Let's also do only transactions within the last, again, 3 months. Okay, transactions in the last 3 months. And let's also go with a large amount. Let's see what, like, if anyone's been doing over $250,000. We haven't seen anything over $250,000. Let's see if there's anything between $50,000 to $250,000. And now we do have a couple of these. January 11th, January 15th, January 15th, January 15th. We have a couple big orders, guys. January 15th, all buys. And you guys see CPP, Microsoft Meta, COO, GPM, Apple, NVIDIA, Amazon, Google, LRCX, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, JPN, Apple, LRCX. What I like to go through is, are there any overlapping stocks? Are there any overlapping plays here? Is there anything that's like maybe small and random that we don't really know about? Sure, Microsoft, I understand. Meta, I understand. Apple, I understand. NVIDIA, I understand. Amazon, I understand. Google, I understand. But why is someone putting in, let's say, 50,000 to 100,000 on LRCX? Why, again, MA? So sometimes I'll go through this, and I like to go through and do some research and see, like, why is, again, this person maybe doing this on Shopify, right? January 7th, put in 50,000 to 100,000 on Shopify. Jonathan Jackson right here. He, again, bought in on Palantir, bought in on Shopify with a large amount. So I always like to see why are politicians, why are insiders buying in larger amounts on these certain plays? Now, again, last year, guys, this is actually how I got involved over on VST. Last year, Nancy Pelosi, her biggest investment in January of last year was Vistra. You guys can go back to a weekly time frame, and Nancy Pelosi bought in on VST last year back around like this area, back around 164. Okay. Now, once the market started dumping and crashing, I bought in on VST. VST, I'm in right around $100. But I didn't even know too much about VST. The only reason I bought in on VST is because this was the largest investment Nancy Pelosi made. After the market crashed, I said, you know what? I'm going to buy in on VST as well. And VST, again, has made me a lot of money since. Now, obviously, I was up a way more on VST when I was up at highs. But guess what? I'm still up. I'm still in the green on VST. And the reason why I found this play is because it was Nancy Pelosi's largest order. So that's pretty interesting to see. That's pretty cool to be able to see. So I do like to be able to go through some of like the most successful people and see what are they getting themselves into and why, right? And that's where we could be able to make a lot of money. That's where we can make a lot of cash. Guys, little heads on up. Is EVTV starting to move? EVTV right now, guys, are starting to get a little bit of hype at this moment. EVTV, you guys just had a press release come on out. It says EVTV and AZIO announced delivery and installation of 40-foot immersion-ready AI data center container. So EVTV did just come out with a partnership of an AI data center. Just came on out moments ago. And EVTV right here, traders, this is a play that obviously traders are focused on and watching at this time. So EVTV just got a little bit of a squeeze and spike. Let's see if this thing is going to be able to keep on going on up. What would be a great target on this play? Probably somewhere up near closer towards around $4. We did just have a little bit of a bounce play off the 200-day moving average. Stock did just go from 180, start squeezing. Big upper shadow. Remember, guys, upper shadows are like your cheat code. If anyone here wants to be able to short, the easiest way to be able to do that is what? Always just look at upper shadows. Upper shadows are a great way to know that you're going to get some sort of red candle, know that you're going to get some sort of reversal, and know that the stock is going to drop back on down. When you have an upper shadow, all it is, it shows that you are at the top of the mountain currently. Now, obviously, you can keep on going up higher in the future, but when you climb the mountain and you get to the very tippity top, you're at the tippity top of the mountain, you did it. What do you usually do? You usually, again, are going to place your flag over on this mountain. And you're going to say, yes, I'm at the very tippity top. And then guess what? You again head back on down. So this little upper shadow right here represents that you're at the top. AKA, you take a look over on EVTV. You again represented that you just climbed up the mountain. You just placed the flag at the very top. That's the upper shadow, and obviously red candles follow. It's one of the easiest ways to make money in the stock market. It's one of the most simple ways to make money in the stock market for you guys to be able to consistently come out on top, for you guys to consistently make cash, for you guys to consistently, again, just be able to just make money. That's all it is, right? Like, it's just like, that's how a lot of times I look to short over and over and over and over and over again. Now, as I've said here many times, traders, if your broker does not allow you to short, you guys can use Cobra trading right here. I will, again, post this link for you guys over in chat. You guys will be all set, ready to rock and roll. You guys will be all good. So if you guys click this link or copy and paste it, you guys will be able to short every single stock that I am reviewing at this moment. If you're saying to yourself, oh, I can't short, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. Again, I want you guys to realize, hey, you know what? It's just because you don't have a good broker. Not having a good broker is like a very important thing. You have to have, again, basically the engine of your trading to be great. Now, I will say, Cobra, you do need $20,000 in your account to use them. But as we already talked about, the PDT rule is going away. Cobra is giving away, or not giving away, they are allowing the first 500 people to sign up to their early access list. The first 500 people, they are going to allow $5,000 accounts to be able to short when the PDT rule gets removed. So if you have not yet, this is urgent. Make sure you sign up to the early access list right here. There's about 400 people signed up already. There's about 90 spots left. If you guys have an account that's around $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, add your name to this watch list and you'll be all set, ready to rock and roll so that once again, the PDT rule does drop, you will be all set. Okay? So add your name to that watch list. Or if you have over $20,000, you guys are all set already. Just go ahead and sign up. You guys will be good to go. But that's how I'm always shorting all these plays. That's how I'm always making money every day. All right, traders, 825 in the market. We do have EVTV kind of getting these spikes. And again, notice it's very like, these are the common characteristics. It's almost looking like a little pitchfork, you know, like those farming pitchforks. When you see these little pitchforks, a lot of times this is like the stock giving their last efforts before it falls back on down, right? A lot of times that's what you have. You kind of have like this pitchfork, this pitchfork, this pitchfork, and then you get drops. You can make money on every little upper shadow, little top. Usually this does lead to reds. Every now and then it does lead to a squeeze, right? You always got to be like understanding about that. But, you know, it does feel good when you realize, hey, you climb the mountain, you see some upper shadows, you kind of see these little pitchforks. That's usually where the stock is going to fade and fall. That's usually where the stock is going to reverse. The stock has a very big spike. You start seeing these upper shadows. You start having the pitchforks. It usually starts heading back on down. It's almost like, again, you know, it's like giving it chances. It's like, let's break through $3. Let's break through $3. Okay, come on, guys. I'm getting tired. Let's break through $3. Right? You kind of lose, you know, that energy, that gasp with every little attempt that doesn't work. And maybe again, I'll be honest, guys, I'm not going to do that example again, because like if someone just walked into your room and just heard those sound effects, they would be like, "What are you watching?" I might have just gotten again some people in trouble. You hit $3 and you can't get. You hit. So right here, traders, EVTV. Watching, waiting. We do have, again, 3 minutes. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys enjoy this show right now, if you guys are having fun on this show, make sure you guys smash that thumbs on up. That's the only thing I ask. Right now, over on, again, the Stock Twits, there's over 100 people watching. And again, there's 13 thumbs up. That's embarrassing. That's humiliating. That's, again, insulting to my intelligence. If you guys, again, want to not insult me in any sort of way, smash that thumbs on up right here and right now. Make sure you subscribe over towards, again, the Stock Twits YouTube channel. They're always working so hard to put out some great content for you guys. So make sure you guys go ahead and check that on out if you guys haven't yet. After this, though, traders, I will be live as I am. If you guys want to watch me live, I'm over on tradecaster.com. I also, again, go live on my social media accounts. So make sure you guys are ready to rock and roll, because we got about 3 to 5 minutes left right here on Stock Twits. And then we're going to kick off the live show. Getting ourselves prepared. Getting ourselves ready to rock. Getting ourselves fired up. That's what I am right now. I'm so fucking jacked up right now. Jacked up, baby. It's Monday. It's good to go. Guys, there's 2 feet of snow outside right now. 2 feet of snow. I'm ready to go ahead and make some profits and just jump face first off this 2-story window into a nice pool of snow. Hearing a little poof when I land, and again, feeling nothing but some great fluffy snow around my nice, cold, tender body. That's what I'm doing today. It's a big day. Let's get ready to rock. We got a brand new press release waves coming through at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, traders. As always, if you guys, again, have not or do not use Fox Runner, you guys can sign up over towards Fox Runner. You guys will be all set, ready to rock and roll. Come on over here. Check it on out. You guys will be able to, you guys can download it for free. You guys do get free access to Fox Runner if you guys use it. But again, I use the premium version. The premium version is going to give you guys keywords. The premium version is going to give you guys AI voice alerts. The premium version also is going to give you guys push alerts on your phone. So if you guys are not, make sure you guys at least download the free version over on Fox Runner. And if you guys don't even have, if you guys want the next level, make sure you guys go ahead and get the premium version. That is what I use. Also, if you guys want all my charts, all that good stuff, charting, the top gainers, things like this, that is all from Trade Ideas. Trade Ideas, guys, if you guys use this link over on Trade Ideas, you guys will get 15% off. Make sure you guys check that on out. So 15% off on Trade Ideas, so that you guys are all set, ready to get after it, ready to go. Deck, do you have any discounts over on Fox Runner? Yes, Fox Runner, the code word is Foxy for 30% off your first purchase. So Foxy for 30% off. So if I were you, use it. If you're going to use Fox Runner, don't use it on a monthly membership, because that means it's only one time 30% off. 1 month, 30% off. If you do the annual membership, you get 30% off on essentially all 12 months. Does that make sense? So instead of, again, doing 1 month, 30% off, if you want Fox Runner, do the annual membership and then use the code word Foxy, and you'll get 30% off for the entire year. So it's like a much better discount. Guys, right now it is 8:30 a.m. Let's get ready to rock. Let's get ready to do it. Let's get ready to go. We are going to be seeing news come on through momentarily. Let's see if we can find that next big spike. Also, how's GXAI doing? GXAI, guys, not really doing too much at this moment. I'm going to cancel my GXAI orders at this time. I have 0 orders at this moment. 0. Now, let's see what gets some hype. SVRE announces a strategic exchange. Nope, nothing going on with SVRE right now. What about V-Wave? V-Wave, no. We do have a partnership press release over on ORBS. ORBS, that's Tom Lee's, crypto play. That's kind of turning into a garbage stock, to be honest with you, at this moment. I don't think there's anything too big just yet. I'm looking at 8:30, see what we have. Agreement over on OTH. I just look for, again, the keywords. Agreement, OTH. GITS. Anything right here? GITS does have the word agreement as well. Currently up 10%, but very low volume. DEVS starting to get some hype. Guys, DEVS starting to get a little bit of hype and potential. DEVS has room to run up towards around 148, 150. 148, 150 is the 50-day moving average. DEVS. So DEVS, I'm just going to type this out. Inquire 5,000 shares, locate lowest, click cancel. That's going to cost me $4. DEVS going to cost me $4. It's pending it, though, at this moment. You guys can see DEVS did come out with news right here. DEVS, one-star press release, talks about a merger deal. So there was a merger over on this play. I'm trying to get accepted over on DEVS. So if DEVS guys can be able to get me, DEVS, I just got accepted 5,000 shares. Okay, cool. I'm all set, guys, on DEVS to short 5,000 shares if this one gets a little bit of a pop. Where are you looking to be able to see this one pop up towards? DEVS, the 50-day moving average is at the price of 149. If this thing can get up towards 135, 140, 149, that's where I want it. Unfortunately, it seems like it's just spiking and dumping. DEVS, though, is right here. DEVS, this is a play that, again, had a quick little spike, started dumping. What about SAFX? SAFX is also part of the DEVS merger. So you can see SAFX right there. That one's also spiking, but that one's so little. That one's such a little tiny play. I don't really care about that one. What about ELOG? ELOG, is that one spiking? ELOG had a quick little spike, started dumping on down. No, guys. Again, I don't see anything too big just yet. I don't see anything too big just yet. Do you guys? Can we all confirm? Are we all on the same page? I don't see too much at this moment. I mean, guys, let's go through the top gainers together. BATL, congrats to everyone that got in off my $5 dip buy alert off this, again, bottom first area. That was $5. Now we're all the way up to $5.55. Continue to play that channel. BATL did have news over on Friday. Just holding this beautiful channel pattern has been an absolutely awesome play. BNAI, this has been a stock that is, again, slowly moving sideways. BNAI isn't getting any sort of breakouts just yet. Just that also had news on Friday with a $2 million deal. GXAI had no news whatsoever, setting itself up more like a head and shoulders pattern. Watch for a spike back up to 225, 230 today and a possible reversal. EVTV, this one's trying to get some action. EVTV does have room to run up towards around $4, did have a press release. And then we did just have a quick little pump and dump over on DEVS. If I were you and saying, what stocks would you watch? I'd watch EVTV, BNAI, BATL. But if we're looking at what are the best plays today, guys, the best plays today, to be frank with you, is USAR. USAR is the best play here today, and that's a much larger stock. USAR, for anyone who does not know, that came out here last night as well. That wasn't even a press release today, maybe early this morning. But USAR actually had a press release where the U.S. government took a 10% stake for $1.6 million in USAR. So that was a good press release, but it's a much bigger play, around $30. The U.S. government took a 10% stake in USAR, another rare earth metal stock. That's another reason why these are doing so hot, guys. But hey, there's nothing that's spiking right now. BATL, BNAI, GXAI. News on Friday, no news whatsoever. Right? Hey, we're good to go, ladies and gentlemen. We are all set here, obviously all fired on up, ready to rock and roll. Let's stay excited. Let's stay motivated and stay good. Hey, traders, this does wrap up my time here over on StockTwits. EVTV is the stock that we are going to be focusing on. I'm going to be putting up my live stream over on, again, Tradecaster YouTube X in the next, again, probably 5 minutes. So if you guys want to continue to trade with me, we're only warming up on this Money Monday. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, smash that thumbs on up, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you guys know I'll be live every single Monday over on StockTwits.com. Hey, let's do it. Thank you, traders, and help me wrap this thing on up in 3, 2, 1. I love ya. Thank you, StockTwits. I appreciate y'all.